Sorry. Good morning, students. So today we are going to discuss about the AIET exam, the questions that were asked in your AIET exam. I have selected few questions and we will start the discussion with them. What I think the chapter was of unit and measurement chapter. So measurement topic is very important. The vernier calipers is very important. So I have picked more questions from the vernier. Good questions were asked for your exam, in your exam. So let's start without wasting any time. So the first question that's on your screen is this one. This is a basic question for the screw gauge. Okay. So what it says, if I read the question, let me connect the pen tab. Okay. Question says, in two complete revolutions, mind the word two complete revolutions of the cap of a screw, the distance traveled on the pitch scale, that is generally the main scale you use to call it, is 2 mm. If there are 50 divisions on the circular scale, then calculate the least count of the screw gauge. So first of all, you should know what is least count. So if I start least count of the screw, that this thing you should remember always. Least count of the screw gauge is pitch divided by number of divisions on the circular scale. Is this thing clear? What is least count of the screw gauge is pitch divided by number of divisions on circular scale. Now, if this thing is clear, then what is pitch? What is pitch? Pitch is distance moved on main scale in one revolution. In one revolution of the screw, the distance moved on the main scale. So the question says, so least count will become, what is pitch? You are saying, they are saying that in two complete revolution, distance moved is 2 mm. In two revolution, 2 mm. So in one revolution, it will become 1 mm. That is 1 mm. This is pitch. Divided by number of divisions on circular scale are 50. So that is 1 by 50. That is 0.02 mm. Clear? Yes, sir. Very much clear. Done now. We will move further. So what you should remember, if you are not aware of these things, then just remember this relation. This is very important for you. Now, in the next question, again, this question is related to screw gauge. What you can see, the question says the pitch and the number of divisions on the circular scale are given. That means pitch is directly given this time as 0.5 mm and number of divisions on circular scale are 100. Two things are given. So from this data, you can calculate the least count. So first of all, we will calculate the least count. So let's start with the least count. So least count is equals to pitch divided by number of divisions on circular scale. I think this formula you can remember easily. So pitch is given as 0.5 mm divided by number of divisions are 100. So it will become 0.005 mm. This is the least count. Done. Very good. Now the next statement is very important. It says, what it says, when the screw gauge is fully tightened without any object, the zero of its circular scale is 3 divisions below the mean line. It means when there is nothing between the claws of the screw gauge, between the clamp of the screw gauge, you will say precisely, there is some error because zero should coincide with the mean line, but it is three divisions below. That means there is a positive error. That means there is a positive error. Positive error of what? Three divisions. So error I can calculate error in the instrument, which is called as zero error, is what? Three divisions, out of which each division has a calculation of 0.005 mm. So it will become 5 threes are 15, 0.015 mm. This is the error in the instrument, zero error. And this error is positive in nature. This error is positive in nature. Why? Because it is below. If it is was above the mean line, then it will be a negative error. Done. Moving further. Next statement, the reading of the main scale and the circular scale for a thin sheet are something given as 5.5 and 48 respectively. Okay. So thickness of the sheet. What will be the thickness of the sheet? So thickness of this sheet will be, first of all, there is main scale reading. You need to write the main scale reading, then add circular scale reading, then subtract the positive error. If the error was negative error, then we will add that negative error. Now it is positive error, so we will subtract the error. So this is the general form that you should remember. So I will put this formula in the box. This is not for thickness. This is the reading, actual reading. I think till now everything is clear. Now main scale reading is what? 5.5 mm. Plus circular scale reading is what? 48. 48 is not in mm. This is 48 is the circular division part. You can read it. 48. Into the least count. Least count is what? 0.005 minus error is what? 0.015. If you solve it out, you will get your answer. If you solve it out, you will get your answer. I'm not going to solve it. I think everyone can solve it and you will get exactly the right answer. Whatever it may be A, B, C, D. So what I think B should be the right answer after calculation. You can solve it. Moving further for the next question. I think concept of screw gauge is clear in this particular two questions. That's what my aim is, to clear one topic by taking one or two questions of that topic. Clear now? Moving further. Now this is the question of error. Okay. Question is easy, but most of the times students fails to start the question. So question says what they need to calculate, they are just worried about that. A student measures the time period of 100 oscillations of a simple pendulum 4 times. That means 100 oscillations. The time taken by in 100 oscillations he is calculating, and he has taken the reading 4 times. Okay. The data set is 90, 91, 92, and 95 seconds. Done. If the minimum division in the measuring clock is 1 second, then the reported mean time should be mean time. First of all, these are the four values. So mean time will be, you can say, the true value, that is called true value. So T mean will be, you can add these four terms, that is 90 plus 91 plus 92 plus 95 divided by 4. And if you add it, 5 to 7, 8, 9 for the 36 divided by 4. That is 9. So the mean time is 92. One thing is clear, 92 is everywhere. Now you need to calculate the error, mean error, or you can say it mean absolute error. So I will calculate it delta T1. This is the true value. This is what? True value. In NCRT, there are a lot of questions based on such thing. What is delta T1? Delta T1 is the absolute error in the first measurement. Our true value and absolute error is what? I will write it here. Absolute error is what? True value minus measured value. Clear? So true value is 92, measured value is 90. And if you see the error is of absolute error is what? 2. Similarly, in second measurement, error is what? 1. In third measurement, error is what? 0. In fourth measurement, error is what? Something negative 3. But we are not going to consider negative sign because we are going to calculate mean absolute error. And in the mean absolute error, the sign is negligible. We are taking maximum error. This is the absolute error. So mean absolute error, delta T mean will be, you can add these errors, that is 2 plus 1 plus 3, 0 is thing but, and divided by 4. So that means 3 to 6, 7 by 4. That will be 1 point. What it will become? Okay, I have mentioned it something. This is not 7. This is which pen I was using? 3 to 5 and 1, 6 by 4. 4, 5 are 20. So this is the mean absolute error. So what should be the format? The format of the error you should write, that is 92 is the mean value or true value plus minus 1.5. This should be the answer, but 1.5 is not in the options. So you should round it off. And if you round it off, it will become 92 plus minus 2. This is the correct representation. So reported mean time should be 92 plus minus 2, which is option number A. Done. Moving further. The dimension of A upon B in the equation. Okay. Where P is pressure, X is distance, T is time. Okay, done. Very, very, very simple. You need to find the dimension of A over B. Let's start. Let's write the equation. P is equals to A minus T square. Can I transfer Bx to this side? Okay. So it will become Pbx is equals to A minus T square. Done. Now, from the principle of homogeneity, I think everybody knows the principle of homogeneity. Each term of an equation must have same dimension. There are 3 terms, 1, 2, and 3 terms in the equation. And each term will have same dimension. So the dimension of A should be same as the dimension of T square. So dimension of T square is what? T. So that is T square. So we got the dimension of T square. This is equation number first. You can say we got the dimension of A very easily. Now, again, if I say the dimension of PBX, the dimension of P, B, and X, the complete dimension of PBX, dimension of P, dimension of B, and the dimension of X. This is one term. Should also be T square, because each and every term must have same dimension. Where P is the pressure, X is the distance. So you can write the dimension of each term here. And if I try to write dimension of P, pressure is what? Force per unit area. And you can write the dimension of pressure as force is mLT minus 2 divided by area is L square. So that will be M L minus 1, T minus 2. This is the dimension of pressure. Dimension of B, I have written it as B. Dimension of X means distance is what? L is equals to T square. Now you can calculate the dimension. This L will be cancelled with this one. So dimension of B will be T square is this one. One more T square will be, that will be T raised to the power 4 and M raised to the power minus 1. Clear? Done. This is the dimension of B. But you are not asked to give the dimension of B or A. You are asked the dimension of A over B. So if you ask, calculate the dimension of A over B, A is T square, B is M minus 1 T raised to the power 4. What you will get? M T minus 2, which is your correct option number B. Honestly, you should reply whether your answer was right up to this mark. How many questions you got right? Okay, moving further for the next question. Okay, again, question says if plane is inclined at an angle 30 degree with the horizontal. No worry, there is a horizontal line and there is a plane which is inclined at an angle 30 degree. Done. The component of a vector A, which is minus 10 k, that means 10 is the magnitude and direction is minus k. Okay. Perpendicular to this plane is, here Z direction is vertically upward. They are saying that vertically upward is Z direction. So vertically downward will be negative Z direction. Okay. So there is a vector minus 10 k cap. So this is 10. I have drawn the arrow in the downward direction. So I am not writing it minus 10. That. So you need to find the component perpendicular to this plane. Okay, this is easy case, I think. What you can see, the component, if you take, the two component will be something, one is like that, another is like that. These will be the two components. So which component is perpendicular to the inclined, perpendicular to the surface is this one. If you see this angle is 90, this is 30, this is going to be 60. So the components will be, this component will be 10 cos 60 and this will be 10 sine 60. So what will be your answer? Your answer will be 10 sine 60. 10 sine 60 is root 3 by 2. That is 5 root 3, which is option number B. Which is option number B. Clear? Moving further. Okay, this is good question. I think all of you have gone through at least once with the questions during your examination and you have attempted it by your own at least one time after reaching home. The sum of magnitude of two forces. Am I audible properly now? The sum of magnitude of two forces acting at a point is 60 Newton. They are saying sum of magnitudes. That means vector A plus vector B. It's not vector A plus vector B. It's magnitude of A and magnitude of B is 16. Okay. I am not writing it like A magnitude, B magnitude. It will take time. I am not drawing the vector symbol here. So you can understand that this is the magnitude. Sum of magnitude is 16. Let it be question number first. Now, the second statement says if the resultant is normal to the smaller force and has a magnitude of 8 Newton. Okay. So let's try to draw a simple diagram of the situation. There are two vectors. Let's suppose A and let's suppose B. And the resultant of these two vectors is perpendicular to the smaller one. This is the resultant. Is perpendicular to the smaller one, and this angle is alpha. Let's suppose alpha, and alpha is what? 90 degree. Done. And the total angle between A and B is theta. Total angle between A and B is theta. I think you can analyze the situation here better. Now the resultant is given as 8 Newton. Done. We will take the resultant. You know that resultant is A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta inside the under root, and it is equals to something 8. Now what you can do, I am doing it in this step only. What I am doing, I am removing this under root, then it will be squared. Are you getting my point? It will become 64. This is equation number 2. By looking at these two equations, I cannot conclude anything. Now the third statement, which is very important, that resultant is perpendicular to what? Smaller angle, smaller vector. So the angle of resultant with vector A is alpha. So we know the relation that tan alpha is, everybody knows that B sine theta divided by A plus B cos theta. And according to the situation, according to the question, alpha is given as 90 degree. So alpha, in place of alpha, I can write 90 degree. I am doing it here only. I think you can understand the situation. 90. Tan 90 is what? Sin 90 over cos 90. Sin 90 is 1 over cos 90 is 0. Okay, sorry for the interruption. There was a network problem. I think till now everything is clear. I hope it is. I was audible and I am audible, I think. Yeah. Okay, done, done, done. So now you can cross multiply these things. And if I do it, you can see that A plus B cos theta will become 0. That means cos theta will become minus A by B. If you get cos theta, then put this cos theta in equation number 2. So I am doing so. From equation 2, what I will get? A square plus B square plus 2AB. Look at here. Cos theta is minus A by B is equals to 64. Clear? So if you can see, B and B can be cancelled and it will become minus 2A square. So ultimate result will be B square minus A square is equals to 64. Or you can write it as B minus A, B plus A is equals to 64. This is our equation number 1, 2, and let's suppose it is 3 equation. So now if you divide 3 and 1, if you divide 3 and 1, equation 1 is what? If I say I am doing 3 and 1 divided, 3 divided by 1, if you see, then B plus A will be cancelled. So it will become B minus A is equals to 64 by 16. That will be 4. Equation number 4. Now you have two equations. One is A plus B is equals to 16. Another is B minus A is equals to 4. So you can solve these two equations and you will get answers like you will get B as, like whenever there are two equations B plus A and B minus A. So the term which is positive all the time will be addition of these two, 20 by 2, that is 10 Newton. And A, one time it is in addition, one time it is in subtraction, then it will be 16 minus 4, that is 12 by 4, 12 by 2, that is 6 Newton. So the answer is 10 Newton and 6 Newton. 6 Newton and 10 Newton, which is option number A. I think clear? Yes, 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 clear. Moving further. Okay, okay. Two vectors are there, A and B, and the angle between them is theta. Okay, done. The value of product, they are asking the value of product B cross A dot A. Done. Done. Now listen to me very carefully. I am not going to solve, I am not going to write anything here. The resultant of B cross A will be perpendicular to A and B, both. That means the resultant, whatever will be the result, let's suppose the resultant of B cross A is something R. So this R will be perpendicular to what? A and B both. So if R is perpendicular to A and you are doing the dot product, so after opening the dot, you will get R A cos theta, and theta is what? 90, and cos 90 is what? 0. So the result answer, final answer will be 0, which is option number D. Clear? Basic property of vector. Now there is another question of vector. After that, I think we will move away from the vectors. Question says, A1 and A2 are two non-collinear unit vectors. Mark the word, they are non-collinear and unit vectors. Sorry, they are unit vectors, non-collinear. And some data is given. What is the data? Data is A1 plus A2. Magnitude of A1 plus A2 is equals to root 3. The magnitude of A1 plus A2 is root 3. Okay. So if you see, what will be the magnitude of A1 and A2? If these are two vectors, then magnitude you can write as A1 square plus A2 square plus 2A1 A2 cos theta, which is equals to, now you remember one thing, this is the term which is under, which is in under root. Now if it is in under root, I am removing this under root, and so it will become 3. Square of root 3 will be 3. Now one thing which is very clear, this A1 and A2 are the unit vectors. That means their magnitude is 1. So A1 square is 1, A2 square is 1, and the product of A1, A2 is also 1. Done. So you can see here, this term 2 cos theta will be, sorry, can you see that 1 plus 1, 2, 3 minus 2, 1. So cos theta will be 1 by 2. Can you see that? If cos theta is 1 by 2, then you know the angle between them, theta is 60 degree. Clear till now? Now one more thing. Now they are asking for, if I write it again, calculate A1 minus A2 dot product with 2A1 plus A2. Everything is unit vector. Now what you should do, calculate the dot product. I think this is basic. A1 dot 2A1. If you solve it, it will become A1 dot A1. These are the two unit vectors. Angle A1 and A1 will form zero angle. So it will be 1. So it will become, I am multiplying this A1 to both of them. If I change the color of the pen, it will become 2 only. Clear? Now A1 multiplied with A2, that means plus A1 dot A2. Clear? Now I am multiplying this A2 in whole of this. So it will minus 2 A1 dot A2 and minus, A2 dot A2 is what? A2 dot A2 is 1. I think you know this term, na? A1 dot A1. Vector A dot A is what? Like I am saying, there is vector A and you are calculating A dot A. A dot A is what? Vector A into cos theta. So angle between two A's will be 0. So that will be A into cos 0. Similarly, if these two vectors are unit vectors, then magnitude of A will be 1, magnitude of A will be 1, cos 0 is 1, so result will be 1. Clear? That's what I am trying to teach. Okay. I think we should move ahead in this question. So now you can see here, what you can see, this is A1 plus A1 dot A2 and minus 2 A1 A2. So it will be 2 minus 1, 1 minus A1 dot A2. Or you can write it as 1 minus A1 A2 cos theta. Magnitude of A1 is 1, magnitude of A2 is 1. So that is 1 minus cos theta. Cos theta is 1 by 2, which is 1 by 2. The correct option is C. I think clear. Okay, let me update the connection. Okay. I think video is clear. Moving further for the next question. Okay. So again, this is a good question. The relative density of a metal may be found by hanging a block of the metal from a spring balance. Okay. So first thing is relative density. Okay, let's start with the relative density. What is relative density? What they are doing, they are reading something in air using spring balance of a metal, obviously a metal piece. They are measuring its weight in air. Then they are measuring its weight in water and they are asking the relative density. So relative density is what? Weight of body in air divided by loss in weight in water. This is our relative density. Clear na? So you can write it as, this is density, relative density is equals to weight in air divided by weight lost. WL is weight lost. Done. Now if you put the values, so density will be what? Weight in air is what? 5 divided by weight loss is what? In water, it is reading 4. In water, it is reading 4 Newton. That means the weight loss is 1 Newton. That means weight lost is 1 Newton. So this is 5. So relative density is 5. Now we need to calculate the error in it. So for error, you can write delta rho by rho is equals to delta of weight in air divided by weight in air plus delta weight loss divided by weight loss. You can put the values. Error in the measurement of air portion is 0.05 divided by weight is 5 plus error in the measurement of in water, that is again 0.05 divided by weight loss is 1. And everything is in percent, I think. So you can solve it here. For percentage, if you multiply by 100, it will become 5 by 5, that is 1, plus 5 by 1, that is 5, that is 6%. So how you can write it as? You can write it as 5.00 plus minus 6%. 5.00 plus minus 6%, which is option number D. Clear? Moving further. Okay. These are very important questions. Mark my word, these are really very important questions. Again, another topic is coming, that is vernier calipers. 4 marks are straightforward in JEE mains. Clear cut 4 marks are there in JEE mains from the vernier calipers. No doubt in that. And 95% students just leave that question in the exam because they are not aware about the vernier calipers. They are just afraid of it. But these are the free marks. Okay. So let's try to solve this question first. What it says: the length of a wire is measured with a meter scale having least count of 1 mm. Do you know what is the meaning of this least count? The least count is actually the error in the measurement of that particular quantity. For example, they are measuring the length using a meter scale which has a least count of 1 mm. So what will be the error in the measurement is 1 mm. So least count is treated as the error in the measurement. Okay, done, done, done. Moving further, its diameter is measured with a vernier calipers of least count of 0.1 mm. That means you know the error in the measurement of length is 1 mm. Error in the measurement of diameter is 0.1 mm. Now, given that length and diameter are measured 5 and 4 mm, whatever the percentage error in the calculation of volume of the wire will be. So now, let's start. Wire is obviously cylindrical because it has some diameter, it has some length, it is cylindrical. So volume of the diameter of the wire will be pi r square h. You are given with the diameter thing, so you can write it as pi. Radius is what? Half of diameter, that is d square by 4 into h. H is what? Length of the wire. So I am not using h, I am using L, which is length of the wire. Clear? This is volume. So what will be the error in the measurement of volume? You will say delta V over V is equals to pi and 4 are the constants. So that will be 2 times delta D by D plus delta L by L. Is it clear? So they are asking for percentage error. So for percentage error, you will multiply 100. This will become percentage error. You will multiply with 100, multiply with 100. Now solve the values. That will be 2 times of delta D. Error in the measurement of diameter. Diameter is measured using vernier caliper and its least count is 0.1. That is 0.1 mm divided by its diameter is found to be 4 mm into 100. Plus length has in least count of 1 mm and its length is measured to be 5 centimeter. That means this 5 is in centimeter. So least count is 0.1 centimeter into 100. Someone might say, sir, why you are not putting least count of the length of the meter scale in mm? Because the length actual measured is in centimeter. So I am putting denominator in centimeter. So I need to put numerator also in centimeter so that there is no clash of units. So after solving, I can solve it for you. This is very simple calculation, I hope. This is 25. This is 20. Okay. That is 5 plus 2, 7%. 5 plus 2, 7%, which is option number C. Then moving further. Okay, this is important question. You need to know the concept of this question first. There are three vectors A, B, and C are coplanar. Find the value of y. Find the value of y. Okay, listen to me very carefully. What you know that if three vectors are coplanar, like A, B, C, if I solve the cross product of A and B, this is the question based on previous concept. You can see that. If I solve the cross product A and B, then let's suppose its resultant is something R vector. Clear? So this A cross B, the resultant R is perpendicular. This R will be perpendicular to both A and B. This is what you know. R is perpendicular to both A and B. Now A and B and C, all three are coplanar. That means they are in same plane. That means conclusion is R must be perpendicular to C as well. R must be perpendicular to C as well. Now, if two vectors are perpendicular to each other, then their dot product is 0. That means ultimate result vector R dot C should be 0. This is the concept. This is the first thing that came in my mind. That three vectors are coplanar. That means they are in same plane. If I solve A cross B, the cross product of two vectors, this resultant will be perpendicular to A and B. And A and B and C are in the same plane. That means this R is perpendicular to C as well. So when two vectors are perpendicular, their dot product is 0. So my first step is to calculate A cross B. So I am calculating first step, that is I am calculating R. R is what? A cross B. A cross B, you can use the determinant method IJK. I is what? 2 minus 1 and 1. JB is what? 1, 2, and minus 3. So if I solve this, I will get I 3 minus 2, that is 1, minus J. I think everybody knows now how to calculate this A cross B. Minus 6 minus 1, and this is plus K. This will be 4 plus 1, 5. 4 plus 1, 5. So ultimate R is, if I say R is I plus 7j plus 5k. This is R. Clear? Now R dot C should be 0. So R dot C, if I write it here, R is I plus 7j plus 5k dot C is what? 3I minus yj plus 5k. This should be 0. I think you know how to do the solve the dot product. I multiplied with I, that is 3, minus 7 by plus 25 is equals to 0. So y is equals to what? 25 and 3, 28. 28 by 7, that is 4. This is your correct answer. Y is equals to 4. Clear? Moving further. Now this is the vernier calipers. Read the question very carefully and try to conclude things so that this concept is clear to you. The main scale of a vernier calipers reads in millimeter. Done. Reads in millimeter. This is your normal scale, the meter scale that you have in your houses, in your schools. And its vernier scale is divided into 10 divisions, which coincide with the 7 division of main scale. Try to understand. That means 10 vernier scale division. I am assuming one thing here, that you have seen vernier in your classes, in your labs, or during the lectures. You have seen vernier calipers, because I can't draw it and I forgot to put a picture of vernier here. So you can download the image if you have not seen. There is a one vernier scale which has small divisions generally, not always, and one main scale is there. There are jaws there. Okay. So question says 10 vernier scale divisions are equivalent to 7 main scale division. Done. This is very important line. Now, another thing. I'm telling you the shortcut trick to calculate. Ultimately, whenever you are using an instrument to read something, to read the thickness, read the diameter or whatever, you need to know the least count of the instrument. So first aim is to calculate the least count. So for the calculation of least count, there must be a relation between vernier scale division and main scale division, which is given. Now, second thing that you should know, what is the ratio of MSD versus VSD? So main scale division versus vernier scale division. If you see here, this value will be 10 by 7. Can you see that this value is greater than 1? This value is greater than 1, but less than 2. But less than 2. So in this situation, the least count of the instrument will be 1 main scale division minus 1 vernier scale division. Now, things may get deep and deep. What if there must be a question that must arise in your mind, that what if it is greater than 2 but less than 3? What if this ratio is greater than 2 but less than 3? In that situation, or you can say, if this ratio is what? MSD over VSD is between 2 and 3, then the least count will be 1 MSD minus 2 VSD. Similarly, if it is between 3 and 4, then least count will be 1 MSD minus 3 VSD. Are you getting my point? You can, because I'm forcing this term, because in most of the books, only this relation is mentioned, and it is given that least count is just this one. But this is not true. Least count may be this one, maybe 1 MSD minus 3 VSD. It depends on the ratio of MSD over VSD. I think clear? Now, we know the least count. The formula which is going to be used is general formula 1 MSD minus V1 VSD. Now put the values. So least count will be main scale division reads in millimeter. According to the question, millimeter means 1 mm. And we are asked the answer in centimeters. So I am putting all the values in centimeters. So that will be 0.1 centimeter minus 1 vernier scale division. Can you see that vernier scale division is 7 by 10? That is 0.7 into 0.1. Now most of you will get confused. I am just moving from this point to this point. One main scale division has a value of 0.1 mm and one vernier scale division, you can see here from this statement, one vernier scale division has a value of 7 by 10 main scale division. So 7 by 10 means 0.7. Main scale division is 0.1 centimeter. So that will be 0.1 minus 0.07. Clear? That is 0.03. Am I right? This is the least count. I think till now everything is clear. Should I move further? Till now we have calculated the least count. I will erase all other things from here so that we have ample amount of space. Done. Now, move here. Again, the question says, when a cylinder is tightly placed along its length between two jaws, it is observed that zero of vernier scale lies just right to the 32nd division of main scale. Okay. If you see it again, what will be the reading? That is main scale reading plus vernier scale reading plus minus error. So there is no error mentioned. So I am just writing main scale reading or vernier scale reading. You can write it as n into least count. This is n into least count. This is how vernier scale reading is taken. Now main scale reading is 32. 32 divisions means 32 mm. That means 3.2 centimeter. Plus, they are saying, mark my word, of main scale and fourth division of vernier scale coincides with the main scale. What is n? N is the coincidence. Division coinciding. So which division is coinciding? They are saying fourth division is coinciding. So you can write it as 4 into least count is what? 0.03. So that will be 3.2 plus 4 3s are 12. That is 0.12. That is 3.32 centimeter. So result is 3.32 centimeter. But in the question, it is given by, sorry, this decimal is not here. This should be here. This decimal should be here. So that is 3.3. So K is what? On comparison, K is what? 2. On comparison, K is what? 2. So what are the two things that you can learn from this question? One is how to calculate the least count of the instrument and how to get the reading. In the term of reading, if I talk about this is main scale reading. Main scale reading is the point where the zero of vernier scale where the zero of vernier scale. So zero of vernier scale is just to the right of 32nd division. That means reading is 32 mm. In centimeter is 3.2 centimeter. In the next question, I will try to. Okay, this is another question, and this is advanced question. It was asked in advance. I'm not sure about the year. You can check it in 13 or 15 or 16 something. It was in the advance, something 15 and 16. Okay, no worries. What if it is a question of advance? You can solve it. Okay, so they are saying the energy of a system is mentioned something E is equals to a square exponential. That means e raised to the power minus alpha t. Done. Where alpha is given, highlight the term alpha. Uh, 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 Highlighter. Alpha is given 0.2. The error in the measurement of A is 1.25%. And in the measurement of time, it is 1.5%. Done. So I have highlighted the important data here. At t equals to 5, they are asking. Because energy is variable, so it depends on time. Now, generally we know the formula that, for example, in the previous questions, we have written now V is equals to pi r square h, pi r square L. Then you have written delta V over V is equals to 2 delta R over R plus delta L over L. That's simple case. How this formula is achieved is by taking log. This formula is achieved by taking log. So that taking log is the base, is the fundamental of these questions. So here we will start with the fundamental because this is not in the straightforward terms. So we will start with the fundamental, and fundamental says we just take the log. So I am taking log both side, log base e, which is ln, nothing but ln. You know that. So this is ln e is equals to, now you can see that it will become ln a square into e raised to the power minus alpha t. Clear? So ln a into b is what? Ln a plus ln b. So again, I will write ln e is equals to ln a square, that means 2 ln a plus ln of e raised to the power minus alpha t. So ln and e will get cancelled out. It will become minus alpha t. So I will place minus here. I will place minus here alpha t. This is the first step. Now you can use these steps in every question and you will get the answer. This is for sure. Now take the log, take the differentiation. Now differentiate. Do differentiation about any term, about x, about y, about z. Do whatever you want. So if I differentiate this ln term, it will become 1 ln differentiation of ln e is 1 by e, that is divided by e into de. Clear? Is equals to 2 is already there. Ln a is what? 1 by a dA. And when we are trying to take the error, we are more concerned about maximum error, whether it is mentioned or not, but we are concerned about maximum error in the measurement. So for that maximum error calculation, we need to omit this negative sign and we will put positive sign here. Alpha is a constant and the differentiation of t will be dt. This is the term. Now you can see dE over E is the term of relative error. dA over A is the term of relative error, but dP there must be a t in the denominator. What if there is no t? We can make it divided by t multiplied by t. Clear? Now, what you get, everything is in percentage error, so you can multiply with 100 as well. So you can multiply with 100 as well. So I am multiplying with 100 and with 100 as well. Clear? There is no problem with that. Okay. Now, so that will be 2 times. This is what percentage error in A. And percentage error in A is what? 1.25%, 1.25. Plus alpha is what? 0.2. This is, I have highlighted it as well. Into T. T is what? Time. Time is what? 5 seconds. Into 5. Into dt over t into 100. This term is percentage error in the measurement of time, which is 1.5%, which is 1.5%. Now you can calculate. This is 1.25, this is 2.5 plus 1.5, that is 4%. That is 4%. So what is the answer? Percentage error in the measurement of energy is 4%. Clear? Moving further for the next question. What you can learn from this question is that the basic of measurement of error comes by differentiating. First step is taking log. Second step is differentiating the term, and then you will get the exact desired equation. If the terms allow you to write it in the form that we have used for the volume directly, then you can go for that. Otherwise, you need to take the log, differentiate it, and then solve it. Done. Moving further for the next question. Okay. This is again conceptual question. You will learn something new. If you have omitted this chapter during the classes, then by solving these much questions, you will be able to understand the concept. Okay, so they are saying the velocity of transverse wave, you are just, you shouldn't concern about the terms here. What is transverse wave? What is string? Velocity is given as root p by m. Now each and every term is mentioned. T is tension. This is nothing but force. And m is the mass per unit length. Mass per unit, you can write this term. Can you write this term as P over mass per unit length? Clear? So this term will become V is equals to root of T into L divided by M. Clear? Now tension they have measured, mass they have measured, length they have measured. Clear? Now the error in the measurement of velocity. That means delta V by V. Here there is no need to take the log because you can directly write it as. Can you write it as P L by M raised to the power 1 by 2? That means everywhere there is a power 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 can be taken as this one. Delta T by T plus delta L by L plus delta M by M. For percentage error, you need to multiply with 100, multiply with 100. Now put the values. Now main thing is coming just after that. 1 by 2. What is delta T, sir? T is what? Tension is 3 kgf. Now, if you see very precisely here, this is given as 3.0. That means zero point 0, which indicates up to 1 digit the instrument can measure. So the least count of the instrument is 0.1. Least count of the instrument is 0. For example, if it was mentioned as 3.00, then the least count of the, it can measure up to 2 decimal points. So the least count of the instrument will be 0.01. If it was mentioned as 3.000, so least count of the instrument will be 0.001. That means these three digits decide what is the least count of the instrument. And I have told you in the previous question that delta T, delta L, delta M, or the error in the measurement of tension is nothing but the least count of that instrument from which they are measured. So by the concept of this, I can write here which pen I was using. Actually, I was using white pen. So delta T error in the is 0.1 divided by tension is 3 plus error in the measurement of L. Can you answer? What is the error in the measurement of L? L is 1.000. That means error is 0.001 divided by length is 1 plus error in the measurement of mass is 0.1 divided by 2.5 into 100. You can solve it and you will get the answer. I am not going to solve it. You will solve and you will get the answer. Clear? Moving further. Okay. I think this is the last question that I am going to take because the video is already of 1.5 hours, I think. So this is the last question that I will take here. This question is again advanced question asked in advance. Which year? 14 or 15. So question says, uh, the diameter of a cylinder is measured using a vernier calipers with no zero error. No zero error. That means there is no zero error. Okay. It is found that the zero of the vernier scale lies between 5.1 and 5.15 centimeter of the main scale. If I try to draw the situation, this is the main scale. This is 5.10. This is 5.15. And the vernier scale 0 is somewhere here in between these 2 points. This is our main scale and this is our vernier scale. Now, what you can identify, if you can read 5.10 and 5.15 on the main scale, that means this scale has a least count of what? Has a least count. That means if I say least count of main scale, I am not writing the least count of the vernier calipers. I am writing least count of main scale is what? 0.05 centimeter. Are you getting my point? Because one mark is at 5.10, another mark is at 5.15. So what is the least count? Is 0.05 centimeter. One thing is clear. Another thing. Next step. The vernier scale has 50 divisions, okay, equivalent to 2.45 centimeter. Using this statement, the vernier scale has 50 divisions equivalent to 2.45 centimeter. 50 divisions equals to 2.45. Can you find the least count of the vernier scale as well? Yes, we can. So least count of vernier scale is equals to 2.45 centimeter divided by how many divisions? 50. So each division will contribute to uh, that is 490, 4.90, 0.049. That is 0.049. Clear? You can calculate it. What is the least count of vernier scale? it is 0.049 centimeter. Now, again, what is the least count of the instrument? What is the least count of the instrument? So least count of vernier calipers of vernier. You know that it is 1 MSD minus 1 VSD, but it is not confirmed till you know the ratio. What is the ratio of MSD over VSD? So now I will try to find the ratio of MSD over VSD. Okay. Okay. Now listen to me. In 2.45 centimeter, how many vernier scale divisions are? 50 vernier scale division. And if you can calculate in this same 2.45 centimeter, how many main scale divisions are there? So I know the least count of main scale. I know the value 2 points. So I can write it as number of divisions on main scale in 2.45 centimeter will be what? N is equals to 2.45 divided by 0.05. And if you solve it, you will get 5 4 ja 20 and 4 5 9 ja 45. That means 49. So what is the conclusion from this? What you can conclude? You can conclude 49 main scale divisions are equivalent to 50 vernier scale division. Clear? Now this ratio MSD over VSD is just greater than 1. 50 by 49 is just greater than 1 but less than 2 now. So what is the formula for least count? Is 1 MSD minus 1 VSD. Now you can use the formula. 1 MSD is what? 0.05 minus 1 vernier scale division is what? 0.049. So that is what? 0.001 centimeter. This is the least count of the instrument. Okay. Now they are saying the 24th division of the vernier scale exactly coincide with one of the main scale division. Now I am writing the reading here. Reading of the instrument will be main scale reading is what? 5.10 plus which division coincide? 24th division coincide. And what is the least count of the vernier? 0.001. Clear? So that is 5.10 plus 24 0.024. That is 5.124. What is the answer? 5.124. This is the diameter of the cylindrical body in centimeter. 5.124 centimeter. Clear? I think this is it for the session. There is one lot of questions are there, but they are easy. I have picked the difficult questions for you. I hope you enjoyed. So I am ending the session. Bye everyone. Give me a minute to end the session.